Hi, this is Cathy Bowers. I'm a registered dietitian, and my company is Nutrition for a Lifetime. I am about helping people to stop those short-term diets and develop long-term healthy lifestyles. Today I'm going to talk about 7 healthy nutrition habits that will help you to get started. But before I do, let me tell you a little story about my father. My dad is 78 years old, and he lives in Arizona. He has numerous health conditions and has struggled with weight all his life. This last year, my dad ended up in ICU with severe pneumonia, and that wasn't good for him because, you see, my dad has COPD. And the severe pneumonia kept him in the hospital for 1 whole week. Now, my dad has struggled with weight all his life, and this time when I talked to him in the hospital, my dad said, "Cathy, I'm ready to lose this weight. I can't breathe. I can't move. I'm tired of being sick." So I helped my dad to start using these 7 healthy nutrition habits. I flew out to Arizona and saw my dad, spent some time with him, went out to eat with him, helped him and my stepmother clean out their pantry. And I never took anything out of my dad's diet. I just helped him to learn how to eat in moderation and to develop these healthy lifestyles. I'm very happy to say that my dad has lost 90 pounds and is maintaining his weight loss. So anybody can do this. It's all about that motivation. It's all about taking care of yourself. It's all about investing in your health. So I suggest that you take some of these nutrition habits and you start working with them. It might be that you decide to work on 2 or 3, and then you may decide after a few weeks that you're ready to try another one. Or after that, it may be that you want to do them all. It's all up to you. You do them at your pace, but the point is to start working on them. 1 at a time, 2 at a time, 3 at a time, and develop them. And I tell you, in about 6 months or less, you'll be doing great and seeing the benefits from it. I also tell people that it's not about becoming a particular size or necessarily a particular weight. It's about, again, developing healthy lifestyle habits to be healthy on the inside. It doesn't matter what size you are. If you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be healthy. So it doesn't matter if you're a size 2 or a size 22. It all matters that you take care of yourself. So let's talk about the first one, which is eating breakfast. Number 2 is drinking 8 cups of water. Number 3 is planning meals. Number 4 is controlling portion sizes. Number 5 is know your restaurants and limit your eating out. Number 6 is consuming 2 to 3 servings of fruit and 5 to 6 servings of vegetables per day. And number 7 is eating mindfully and exercising 80% of the week and 20% of the week enjoying yourself. So let's start with breakfast. Why eat breakfast? Well, it's your main energy portion of the day. You've been going without food or fasting during the time you've been sleeping. And so when you eat breakfast, you're able to break that fast and give your brain and body the fuel and function you start the day. And going back to my dad used to stay up really late at night, and then he would not eat breakfast and barely eat anything for lunch, and then start eating at dinner, continue till he went to bed. So I taught him how to start eating breakfast, and that's one of the main things that's helped him lose his weight and provide energy. My dad's 78 years old, but he's still very active. He can't exercise due to his COPD, but he loves to quilt. And so he needs the energy, of course, to cut out his material and for sewing and for being able to think properly and put those patterns together. So eating that breakfast helps, again, start your body moving, start your fuel for the body. Also, when you eat breakfast, you prevent binging. If you do not eat breakfast, then it comes around lunchtime, and you're going to eat everything you can at lunchtime. You're going to go through that drive-through, you're going to biggie size whatever it is, or you're going to be home and you're going to open up that bag of chips and eat the whole bag. So eating breakfast helps prevent binge eating or eating beyond the portion sizes. If you skip breakfast, it also slows down your metabolism, which slows down weight loss. Studies have shown that people who eat breakfast actually lose weight and usually keep it off. I've heard from many people that, well, I don't eat a lot. I don't even eat breakfast. I don't understand why I'm not losing weight. And it's probably because they've slowed down their metabolism so much that their body's just holding on to everything. People that eat breakfast have also shown to be more productive at work and school. When you eat breakfast, you have that increased opportunity for nutritional benefits. So breakfast is a great opportunity to have nutritious foods such as dairy, fruit, whole grains, which provide valuable protein, carbohydrates, fat, vitamins, and minerals that the body needs every day. So here's some breakfast suggestions. Oatmeal with some walnuts and a half a cup of fresh fruit, toast with some peanut butter, a corn tortilla with beans or scrambled eggs and salsa, a smoothie. Now, the one thing these all have in common is there's some protein, there's some carbs, and there's some fat in there. And the reason that this is because carbs will be the first thing that digests, then comes your protein, and then comes the fat. If you have all three in your system, you're able to stay satisfied longer, your blood sugar stays stable longer, and you just will make it better to lunchtime without feeling like you're starving. So think about that when you make your plate. A little protein, some carbs, and a little bit of fat will go a long way to keep you fuller longer. But it's just important that you start eating that breakfast. And remember those portion sizes. Number 2 is hydration. I come across a lot of people that don't drink water or don't like to drink water. Some suggestions there is adding some fresh fruit or vegetables to your water bottle. In fact, I've got my water bottle here with me while I'm recording this session. It's very important to drink your water. Every part of your body needs water to work correctly. Your body uses water to maintain a normal temperature, lubricate joints, and remove waste. Did you know that water makes up half of your body weight? You can lose water when you breathe, exercise, and when you go to the bathroom. You lose water even faster when it's really hot outside, or you have a fever, or you have vomiting or diarrhea. When people have the flu, they become dehydrated so fast and sometimes will need medical attention. Signs and symptoms of dehydration include fatigue, headache, dry mouth, dark urine, little or no urine, increased thirst, confusion, dizziness, and crying without any tears. So who's at risk? If you're exercising at a high intensity, certain medical conditions, if you're sick, or older adults. I really get concerned about some older adults who their medications will cause them to get dry mouth, their medications will decrease their thirst, and people wonder why sometimes that their elderly are confused, and it may be just because they're dehydrated, or maybe they find out that their loved ones are fatigued all the time or have headaches, and it could be just because they're dehydrated. To make sure that those you know that are elderly really get some water. Increase your water intake if you have kidney stones, bladder infection, breastfeeding or pregnant, outside in hot weather, especially during that summertime here in Virginia Beach. It's very hot and humid. If you're exercising, if you have fever, vomiting or diarrhea, or trying to lose weight. How much water should I drink per day? 8 glasses per day at least. Some people may need only 6, while others may need 10. And you'll need to increase that, of course, if you're outside in that heat. If you're planning for exercising more than an hour at a high intensity, then you might need a sports drink that contains carbs and electrolytes. I would say that most of them are high in sugar, so you just want to be careful how much you add to your water. You can dilute it, half a cup of Gatorade and the rest water. Keep a bottle with you during the day. Try adding, even do cucumbers. Drink before and during after a workout. Thirst is often mistaken as hunger. So sometimes maybe drink a glass of water and then see if you're still hungry. Drink when you wake up, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then before you go to bed if you can. When you are thirsty, there's already a good chance you are already dehydrated. Meal planning. This one's huge. I come across a lot of people that don't do meal planning. When you do not do meal planning, you will plan to fail. When you do meal planning, you plan to succeed. A lot of people nowadays are really busy. They are constantly running to and fro, and so drive-through has become the convenient thing to do. Or they order in. And people don't realize the high fat content, the high sodium content, the big portions. So benefits of meal planning is one thing that I encourage many, many people to do. Benefits of meal planning include you'll eat out less stress, save money, less trips to the grocery store, avoid what's for dinner from your family, lower sodium, lower fat, control your portion sizes. You will always have the ingredients in your pantry. Work around food allergies and sensitivities. Variety. You can plan for busy days. Your family has input on what you plan for dinner. Less processed, which means less chemicals and preservatives. So how do you meal plan? Well, there are different ways of doing it. Some people will plan for a whole month, actually. Some people will plan for 2 weeks. Some people plan for a week. What I suggest for people to do is to sit down either on a Friday or Sunday, whatever works best for you for the following week. Go through your pantry, see what you already have, and your freezer and your fridge. So you can plan meals perhaps by what already you have in there that's left over, something maybe you didn't use the week before, whether it be a package of chicken or some extra vegetables. So check out what you have first. Then look at your schedule and figure out what nights of the week you're home, what nights of the week you're out. Then perhaps talk with your family members and see if they have any special requests. You know, Mom, can we make this? Or honey, I'd really like to have this recipe. And then put that one down. Another thing is to keep in mind when you make out your meal planning is what days are going to be extra long. So maybe you need a quick meal that day. Maybe which days are, you're home at 3 o'clock. And maybe you can put something that's going to take longer in the oven on those days. Then you want to plan those meals according to how many days you know that you're going to be cooking. And keep in mind that when you plan your meals, do you eat leftovers the next day for lunch? That's another way of saving you money at lunchtime and not having to worry about what am I going to eat for lunch, is by maybe taking it up from 4 servings to 6 servings for that recipe, and that way you have leftovers the next day. After you figure out your main dinner recipes, perhaps think about then what are you going to do for breakfast? What's everybody's normal routine for breakfast? Is it cereal? Is it eggs? Do you do smoothies? So perhaps look at the calendar and figure out which days you need cereal for, which day you need eggs for, which day you do smoothies. In my house, we like to do smoothies on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're kind of on our own. And there are many times on Saturday I'll cook maybe some eggs and hash browns and stuff like that for my husband. So, again, it's kind of looking at your schedule and what works best for you and your family, knowing that you have something there for breakfast. Right? Then you're figuring out lunchtime. Again, if you're not doing leftovers, then you want to think about having something there for lunch. Do your family do sandwiches? Do you like salads? What works best for you? After that, think about your snacks. What do you like to snack on in the afternoon? Does your husband need any snacks for work? You need any snacks for work? I always try and make sure that we have those healthy options to grab and go in the afternoon. With my job, I tend to travel. So what I do is I make sure my lunchbox has my snacks in them, like some almonds. I'll throw in a small piece of fruit in there, or some. I love peanut butter. I might throw some peanut butter and fruit in there. So it's figuring out all those different things and components. And then you can take that list and you can go grocery shopping, get everything you need, and bring it all home. The next thing I would suggest is perhaps prepping some of the vegetables or carrots, celery, pack them in your lunches. It might be prepping snacks for the week, little baggies of pretzels, fruit. Again, doing some of that prep. I also tell people that on Sundays, or you can do this whatever day you like, is actually you can cook some meals ahead of time. That way that you don't have to worry about those long days. Perhaps a late meeting at work. You can easily put something on Sunday, make something in the crock pot, or you can bake something in the oven, or you can even make something on the stove. You could do all three. When planning, again, so much stress off of you. If you know you got 4 portion sizes, then you're prepping for the week. Again, you can the next day. I tell a lot of my clients and my patients that away, take those 2 extra portions, package it up, and that way they'll be sent in at lunch the next day. Controlling portion sizes. Fruits, vegetables, grains, protein, and dairy. And not necessarily everybody has dairy, so don't worry about that one so much. If you're a dairy person, then 1 cup of milk is 1 serving. So keep that in mind. And the preferred milk is skim milk. So if you're not used to drinking skim milk, perhaps incorporate, you can mix 2% and 1% over. You get used to 1%, or if you get used to skim milk, of course, and it's always your dairy-free alternative instead of soy milk and milk. So when it comes to the plate, your grains here include your starchy vegetables as well. So this is potatoes, corn, green peas, corn and butternut squash, quinoa, rice, pasta, bread. So when you're thinking about these items, for women, 5, 6, and under, the serving size is a half a cup. For men, you can do a whole cup when it comes to potatoes and rice and corn, etc. The next part down here is protein. So that's all your animal products, of course. Your beans would be included up with your carbs as well. So talking here, when I say protein, it's chicken, beef, fish, pork. You want those to be 3 to 4 ounces. If you don't know what that looks like, think about the size of a deck of cards. And that's where you think about a scale. So when we biggie size protein sources, I'll let you know, we're on kidneys. So it's really important to think about those portion sizes. When we get too much protein, we're increasing the size of cholesterol into our bodies. So think about those 3 to 4 ounces. The size of the hand, the size of a deck of cards is all you need. Over here, and fruit should be half a cup. Now, if you're not having fruit with your meal, you're just doing vegetables, then feel free to have a cup and a half of those non-starchy vegetables. Right, so it's real important to do those portion sizes. If you're not sure what a half a cup of potatoes looks like, get out those measuring cups. If you're not sure what a half a cup of fruit looks like, get out those measuring cups. I will tell you that you can do 3 servings every day. A large banana is 2 servings of fruit. So some people will just have a large banana in the morning and just kind of be done the rest of the day. When it comes to fruit juice, a half a cup is 1 serving. You want to keep that in mind as well and not overdo it on your fruit. Be careful. It is healthy, but to eat lots of fruit during the day is not good for you. Don't eat a lot of fruit and it tends to go bad. Well, think about buying those little portion size containers of fruit that's in their own juices and their pre-portioned packs. I've many times bought my daughter the applesauce. She loves applesauce. So those little half-cup packages, and that way she can just put that right into her lunchbox. So that's another option as well. You can definitely always do that when it comes to fruit. So again, it's working what's best for your family. And when it comes to vegetables, people will say, well, again, don't want to buy fresh necessarily because they tend to go bad. Buy fresh whenever possible. Go to your local farmer's market, especially in summertime, and buy fresh when possible. And if you're meal planning, then you can buy according to that week, of course, on how much you need, and buy your fresh fruits and vegetables accordingly on that. Other than that, you can buy steamed vegetables, which work really good. Just don't buy the ones that have tea sauces to them. But you can definitely buy the frozen steamed bags, and that works really well too. You can also think about buying different vegetables that you've never tried before. Maybe experiment with a few different recipes. Next one is reading food labels. Think about reading those labels and getting to know a few certain things on them. Your first one you want to know is that serving size. How much is in there? All right, so this one says serving size is 1 cup. So you definitely want to measure out 1 cup of that item. And again, if you're not sure about what 1 cup looks like, then think about getting out that measuring cup. The next thing I want you to notice is the % daily value. When it comes to fat and when it comes to sodium, I want you to always try and remember to stay under 20%. So this one's just right there on the border, but of fat. Very important there. If you get today or after listening to this webinar in your pantry and you find stuff that's in there that's over those amounts, by all means don't throw them out. Just keep that in mind that they were over, and then next time when you go to the store, buy something that's not so high. Right? And then people will ask me about carbs and sugars. Well, sugar is included in the carbs. So if the item is high in carbs, it's going to be high in sugars. This item is not high in sugar. I would say anything that's approaching above 10 in sugar is I tell people that for people, one hydrate is 2 servings of carbohydrates. Now you're thinking, well, is that a lot? Actually, you need 2 to 3 servings. This would be 1 serving of carbs. This would be 3. And now this would be a complete plate for a man. If a woman wants 3 servings of carbohydrates, she would knock out the dairy. If she wanted to keep it to 2 servings of carbs, then take out the fruit and just fill this plate with a little bit more vegetables and you'll be fine. So you can have definitely at least a cup and a half of vegetables on this side to make 1 serving of vegetables, 1 serving of grains, and 1 serving of protein, and you still have 2. So remember, dairy is a carb serving, your grains are carbs, your fruits are carbs, or carbs. So again, for guys, if a man that starch, again, you'd have 2, 3, 4. Okay? Those 4 choices. Know your restaurants. And I talk to many people that eat out every day. Either they're busy parents, take it's just even anymore, and they're both working, and they're just don't have time to cook. They just get home and it's like, what's for dinner? Again, they're not doing that meal planning. So I try to tell people to limit yourself to eating out at the 2 times a week, and then pretty much kind of know those restaurants that you go to. All right, so according to Google Maps, 50,000 fast food chains across the United States, with McDonald's being the largest restaurant, and 500,000 fast food places. And kids between the ages of 6 and 14 eat fast food 157 million times every month. I find this really sad. Over 10 billion donuts are consumed in the U.S. every year. 20% of all American meals are eaten in the car. 10% of their disposable income on fast food every year. So when it comes to fast food, here is some interesting facts about some of the places where you might go to eat. McDonald's has a double quarter pounder with medium fries, 1,120 calories, 61 grams of fat, 1,650 grams of sodium. That is really high. The Burger King A1 Ultimate Bacon cheeseburger has 850 calories, 50 grams of fat, 1,480 milligrams of sodium. Fries, another 410 calories, 18 grams of fat, and 570 milligrams of sodium. Wendy's, instead of a Baconator and medium fries, is 1,120 calories, 64 grams of fat, 2,200 milligrams. Starbucks iced white mocha and a cinnamon scone is another one that's 820 calories and 27 grams of fat. You go to is again, work best for your lifestyle and picking on the menu. Everybody nowadays has their menu listed. And finding healthier options. The one lowest in fat, the one lowest in sodium, lowest in calories. Now, just that the normal recommendation for sodium for the person who does not have blood pressure. So you could see by the Wendy's that you're basically getting your sodium for the day in their sandwich and fries. So again, that's for sodium for people that do not have high blood pressure. For people that do have blood pressure problems, then the recommendation is 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day. So you could see basically all of these pretty much are right on track or exceed those just by this meal. But again, going over your again, you know what you're eating. Look them online, ask nutritional information, and then another choice is a meal with somebody or taking half home. That's something I it's a favorite thing to go out to eat for is Mexican food. There. So, a basket of chips and salsa. He looked at that and goes, I probably can't have any salsa or chips, can I? And I said, sure, Dad. There's 4 of us at the table. We're just not going to get another basket. So you know how to come and offer you more chips. Just say no. Then we looked at the menu and we decided basically he had already been munching on carbs, so we didn't pick anything that was already wrapped in a tortilla or drenched in cheese. And from there, of course, some beans as well, and probably, I believe, a little guacamole salad. Well, when he got that dish, they give you like platters and plates. So we immediately took rice and a to-go container. At home, you can split that with a loved one. That way you're saving on portion size, and actually you're saving money because you're only buying one meal. So that's another way of looking at it. My cooler really put on a lot of weight. We gained maybe about 2 pounds, and that was it. A lot of our meals. So keep that in mind with doing that when you go out to eat. The next one is eat more fruits and vegetables. They're natural snacks the body needs, calories. They're convenient, wide variety, add color and texture to your plate, and of course are delicious. So there's compelling evidence that a diet rich in fruit and vegetables can lower the risk of heart disease and stroke. The largest and longest study is part of the Harvard-based Nurses Health Study and Health Professionals Follow-Up Study included almost 110,000 men and women whose health were followed for 14 years. The approaches to stop hypertension, or the DASH study, examined the effect on blood pressure on a diet that was rich in fruit, and that the researchers found that people with high pressure who followed blood pressure early studies to be a strong link between eating fruits and vegetables and protecting, unlike case control studies initially individuals for years, they only provide more reliable information than case control studies because they don't rely on information from the past. That's cancer. There are many studies out, new ones that are showing that diet definitely with lots of vegetables, fiber, are helping reduce that cancer. In a study of over 66,000 women in the Nurses Health Study, 85% women from the Nurses Professionals Follow-Up Study who were free of chronic diseases findings suggested that great consumption of whole fruits, so it's really important vegetables in your diet. About you can add to oatmeal or cereal. You can add. So those are some of the ways you can get some fruit there. For vegetables, you can add vegetables to. You can add vegetables to. You can add vegetables by eating salads. You can add vegetables for the day and have them. You can incorporate vegetables and different sauces. You can have pizza. You can have vegetables. Some fresh vegetables. Now, 8 food and exercise. Make 80% of your food healthy and 20% intake, and make that fun. My husband and I have had a date for Since my daughter was 12, we usually go out and have dessert. If my meal came home, I'd enjoy that dessert. But that's my night to kind of let it go and to enjoy myself. If you do this, it will help you not to binge on the foods you limit during the week. It helps relieve stress. I tell people plan. So I have a party to go to. It's an anniversary. An alcoholic can give up drinking, a smoker can give up smoking, but we cannot give up food. So it's best that we plan out those times when we're craving something. And of course, exercise is a major component. If you want to exercise 5 to 6 days a week, maybe take a day off from working out and let your body recover and rest from your work week. Maybe even take a nap on your day off. Give yourself permission to rest. So it's everything in moderation. Exercise program. Please go to your doctor first. And you can talk maybe 3 days a week, depending on your ability and any health issues. You may start off with 15 minutes and work your way up to 30. An hour. I tell people that to do some kind of walking or exercise 30 to 60 minutes. It's going to be something that you enjoy, though. The equipment, just your walking shoes. You could easily join a rec center or a bike at home and start using that. And again, having something to exercise with, get that. So let's recap over these 7. So we talked about eating breakfast. Remember, eating for breakfast, but your schedule like in the morning. Get up, shower, head out the door. It might be making a smoothie and have it in the refrigerator ready to go. It might be even just making up some hard-boiled eggs and grabbing a couple of those in the morning with and some yogurt. It might be you can make a or a sandwich to go, and you can easily put in the microwave and head out that door. Some people like breakfast bars, and they're not too bad for you. Content in there. Try to minimize a smoothie or a bar as a meal replacement. Calories to get that body going in the morning, anywhere from 300 to 400 calories. So if your breakfast bar is only 150 to that, which is another 100 calories, and perhaps protein source like a hard-boiled egg. Drink your 8 cups of water. If you're not a big water drinker, think about perhaps an easy way to do it. 2 cups of water with breakfast and with dinner. That gives you 6 cups right there. And then incorporate another 2 cups. It might be 1 cup mid-afternoon. But remember to also adjust that water intake if you're exercising, because that needs to as well. Their confusion or their headache or fatigue is not just because you think they're getting water. Plan your meals. Don't forget, sit down at the beginning of the week or the end of the week and figure out your schedule. Who is out during the week? Who is home? What days do you need that quick 30-minute meal? What meal can you cook longer? Are you for lunches? Can you cook meals on Sundays so you don't have to cook during? And sit down now on the web to help you. Get your family involved with some of their favorite recipes. That way everybody's happy. Control those portion sizes. Use those at different places online. You can get portion plates through Amazon. So that would be help reduce sodium. Sizes are when our country has really gotten away from portion sizes. So the next one is know your restaurants that you're eating out. Yes, find those favorite fast food places that you go to. Have those go-to items that you order. So for me, they just get a grilled chicken sandwich and a side salad. If I'm doing fries, I might pull off my husband's plate. So every once in a while, I do get my own. I don't steal his all the time. And for when I go there. When I go to Subway, I get lots of vegetables on my sandwich to increase that vegetable intake, or I just order me a salad and maybe get that side of baked. So know those restaurants. Limit your eating out. Consume 2 to 3 servings of fruit and 5 to 6 servings of vegetables every day. So again, it's part of that meal planning. It's part of that discipline of knowing what you're eating during the day. What are you going to have, which meals. And vegetables with breakfast, lunch, dinner, cooking, for you and your family. Again, it's figuring that out and planning accordingly. And going back to that fruit just a little bit, when I make smoothies, a lot of times I just buy the frozen fruit. And, usually there's 3 servings of fruit per bag of the brand that I buy. So we make food actually, so there's a serving of fruit in each one. So I know I can have another serving of fruit during the day. I know I make them in that case. My husband, he loves to add that extra fruit in there. He adds banana, so when he makes it, then I know for me personally, I'm done with fruit for the day. So again, think about that when you're planning. Know when you're getting your vegetables. And then, of course, 80% of the week eat mindfully and exercise. 20% of the week enjoy yourself. So it all takes discipline. It's hard work there at the beginning, but it's worth the efforts. We have to invest in our life. We have to invest in our health. Or even when we buy those items for ourselves, we need to do some working right. We'll get oil, we change the air filters in our house, we fix the appliances, paint. we make ourselves last when it comes to scheduling a doctor's appointment or getting rest when we need to or finding time to exercise or planning those meals. So I just implore you, beautiful house that you own or that nice car, and take care of yourself. God gave us one body. That He gave you. Take time to plan for yourself. You are your. You can't take care of others. So I hope you've enjoyed this 7 Healthy Nutrition Habits. Again, my name is Cathy Bowers. I'm a registered dietitian, and my business is Nutrition for a Lifetime. And also with my business, I do one-on-ones with people. I go to people's homes. I offer different nutrition clinics around the city of Virginia Beach and Hampton Roads area. So coming down here, there is my website and my email address. If you need to do a one-on-one with me, like I said, I will gladly come to your home and work with you, or we can do FaceTime or Skype if you're not close to me. I ask you to look me up on Facebook, again, Nutrition for a Lifetime. I am also on Twitter. And besides doing my one-on-ones with people and my going to people's homes, I also offer a recipe club for those who perhaps have a big problem with menu planning. It's just because they just time, but they want to start that healthy lifestyle. I email those out on a Monday. It includes to me, that's real important. Or use that as well, and they just cost a little bit more. So again, the business is Nutrition for a Lifetime. I am passionate about educating people about nutrition. Remember, it's not about short-term diet. It's about developing those long-term healthy lifestyles. I wish you all a blessed day. Thank you for listening to this webinar, and I hope to meet you one day in person. Thank you. Bye-bye.